In my eyes, Luffy is the 5th emperor, dude. I mean,
Luffy is the king of the pirates.
Emperor.
Sorry.
Oh my god, we're on to some other
bozo time.
I meant
PK.
Kings reinvent structure. Kings, you can't put a king in a box. You can't keep a king in a box. Was that okay?
You're a master at saving some.
You might want to like cut that.
I'll actually genuinely consider. Hello and welcome to another episode of Volume 1, the anime and manga podcast where we highlight and discuss new series each week. But today we are back again with more One Piece. And we are joined by a very special guest. But before that, my name is Josh. I didn't think of one before we started recording. Josh Emu Michaels. And I, of course, am joined by
Mehgan. I did think of one before we started recording. Emo? More like emu. Preen.
Oh,
I should have did another one.
Wasn't bad.
No, it's okay. You committed to it, and I respect it.
Thank you.
Yeah, if it's my fault for going first.
Gaslight already.
So,
Gaslight number one.
Coming in hot. But it is not just the two of us today. Today we are joined by a very special guest, the return of someone very special to this show. You've seen him before. If you've watched our previous One Piece episodes, you know him, you love him. Make some noise for Nolan the Liar.
Hola, hola. Hi, nice to be back. You can call me Stelly for this episode.
He's going to be on his Evil King shit.
Love that shit. Yep.
Thank you. Oh, I'm so hot and sweaty. Thank you for tuning in to another episode. Today, we're going to be talking about the Reverie Arc. That's going to be chapters 903 through 908. It's only 6 chapters, super short, but so many people out there asked us to dedicate an entire video to this short arc. I understand why now. We also, before this recording, watched Stampede. So if we have a little bit of time at the end, we'll talk a little bit about that. But the Reverie Arc, a lot of stuff happens in 6 short chapters. So many things are revealed, and I have so many more questions about, I guess, the world that I thought I was starting to understand now. With this the addition of this mysterious figure, I feel like I know nothing.
Oda was like, okay, 900 chapters in, I'm going to reveal. I'm going to reveal some shit to y'all.
What a maniac.
Yeah, honestly and truly. Like, what?
And it makes sense.
How you felt when you were first reading that? Because you had already started reading week to week by that point, right?
Week. If you were reading week to week around that, at that point, that's around the time when I first really started reading One Piece. And before I watched a majority of the anime, and then I had to stop. And then I started the manga around the time when Katakuri and Luffy's fight was like winding down.
Damn.
So that's when I started the manga, or that's when I got caught up, and then like I read up until that point, and Reverie was just like so unexpected.
Yeah.
I didn't think that, like, of course people thought it was going to be its own complete arc, which of course
for sure.
It could be, which is great. Like, honestly, it would have been great to see, but this was so intentional, like just these short 6 chapters of just nothing but information and world building, and probably the most in any consecutive chapters in the series so far. So
yeah, I feel like the Reverie didn't even start.
No,
it was
we didn't
just
see that
getting
shit
started.
at all.
I know. I was
see
like expecting to see we saw all the heavy hitters getting ready for Reverie, we're on our way, let's go. And then the end of it is them just pretty much saying like, okay, we're sitting down now, we're talking. I'm like, I wanted to see that. I wanted to see some conflict. I want to see some debates. I want to see people getting heated in the seats. Like, no, you're wrong. Luffy is gonna be king. Like, I wanted to see that shit. Like, I mean, of course, I'm sure at the end we'll know more of what they had to say. But I wanted to see that.
Yeah, I had never before been so excited to see a political process unfold. Than I was preparing for this Reverie. But it was cool to see everybody together and just see how many people Luffy had impacted over the course of the series, and seeing them. And I'm a sucker for this too. Like seeing them all interact with each other without Luffy. Like seeing Shirahoshi talk to Vivi. Like crazy. Rebecca, Leo, like everybody, so many people, Dalton, everybody is there, and seeing them interact with each other and meet each other for the first time and talk to each other about Luffy and have Luffy's friendship as this like common thing that can bring them together was just so cool. And you get to really feel the weight of all the people that he has touched over the course of his adventure.
Yeah.
It's insane. Not to mention the return of Nolan's favorite character in all of One Piece, Stelly. coming back.
How you can't tell me that Stelly isn't one of the best characters in the series, right? He is the brother of Sabo, which automatically makes him, by extension, family of Luffy.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I wonder if they'll share a cup.
Him and Stelly, yes.
Yeah.
I think one of the best parts of the series is when Garp was calling Stelly a turd. Like, he was just like, you're just like this piece of shit. And he was just like, what'd you call me?
Bro, yeah, Garp didn't give a fuck.
He's like, oh, my
Garp
bad.
Doesn't give a fuck.
I meant,
King.
No, you're
Your
a
Highness.
piece of shit.
Yeah.
He was still like disrespectful as hell. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool to see Garp again too. And just more about Kuma, more about this shadowy figure. A lot of people also say that at a certain point, and I think it might have been when Oda was starting to work on the New World, maybe, but that he really started to adapt some Game of Thrones style themes, or you could just tell that it might be a little inspired. There was apparently a meeting that he had with George R.R. Martin, and he was like, I love this shit. I want to start incorporating this shit into my series a little bit more too.
It's not surprising at all. I mean, even at the end of Dressrosa, when he is like, this is going to be a fight for the throne, and Doflamingo is like kind of giving you a preview as to all the stuff that's happening now. And Doflamingo still, he was really cool in that instance, and I think that his downfall to this day, you still feel it. Like, just like all the stuff some of the stuff that's happening now is because they took down Doflamingo, or then they got an alliance, and then you find out about Kid's alliance, and you find out like other things going on in the world. It's especially the end of Whole Cake 2 was like giving you a preview as to what to expect in the coming arcs, not just like in physical events, but in tone and what's gonna go on.
Yeah, the end of World Cake Island.
World Star. Welcome to World Star Island.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, I would love to go there.
Right,
and just as a spectator.
Yeah, who would be like behind the camera doing World Star shit? It'd be like Usopp. Like, we were thinking about like who would be prevalent.
It'd be fucking like, it'd be Usopp, and then it'd be Zoro on the side, just like watching.
Yeah, he'd be like measuring everyone's strength.
Like, he'd have like one eye. Well, he already has one eye.
Yeah. He'd be like this.
Yeah.
And then Usopp would be like, World Star. And then the straw hat would be like,
And
now,
Chopper
Luffy
would be worried.
in that shit.
Like, he'd be worried, like healing every.
Chopper would be trying to like bring the people back from fighting. He'd just be like pushing them aside.
Yeah. He's like, no. But yeah, the end of Whole Cake Island. I mean, during the end, you just felt like, damn. Like, we talked about it on the episode, but like, I mean, talking with Nolan too, it's just like so crazy how far we've come since you have been on.
Yeah,
and the stakes like have never felt higher in One Piece. Like, they're running like because they need to survive. Like, they're not fighting. Like, they can't fight back. Like, they're literally just like, we got to get out of here.
It's the first time that they ever really had to do something like that.
Yeah.
And they still had to fight. They were trying to escape, and Luffy still had his hardest fight yet.
Yeah.
So just to imagine like going full scale war against one of these emperors must be insane.
Yeah.
At least he'd have his whole crew though.
His whole crew, yeah. But
true.
Damn, still.
And fleets. The fleets that he has sort of aligned with would be there.
Just
as
like
well.
the amount of people that Whole Cake, or just for like Big Mom's crew alone.
But yeah, exactly.
Was just like, okay, so are you telling me there's gonna be an arc where they have to fight all of these individuals, and like how exactly is it gonna go down? Like, they're just setting up so many different avenues as to how, even now, like even in Reverie, I'm pretty sure like Big Mom was talking to Kaido.
Yeah.
And she was like, don't touch Luffy. Like, I want to kill Luffy.
Yeah.
And she's just like,
they referenced, and that's what I liked so much about Reverie too, not to mention the past that we'll talk a little bit more about, apparently between Jewelry Bonnie and Kuma, but now learning that there was a past between Kaido and Big Mom, and that they were maybe part of the same crew called the Rocks Pirates.
Possibly. They just said Rocks, like, and it was their time before Rogers.
It was their era, before Rogers. Like, that is so, even that implication alone is crazy. What was the world like? What was their era like, if it was their era?
I also do like just how the parallels between like Luffy and Roger. like how was their era before, and they were kind of doing shit, and then Roger came in and like kind of fucked everything up,
Right.
and then now Luffy's back and
Right.
doing the same exact thing. Like
Right.
I think that's so funny. There's like another thorn in my side, you know.
Yeah.
These D people, like they're all up in our
people need to
business.
relax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They need to chill just for a couple more years. Like
No,
Yeah.
no,
lay
they
low.
can't.
Yeah, lay low.
No,
not anymore. They probably have been.
Yeah.
They're like, it's time, bro.
that's dude.
It's the time.
It's true. Like I forget who said it, but they said like it's their time. Like I think it's Doflamingo saying like when are they gonna come out? Like when are the people of the D gonna reveal themselves and where and when? And I was like, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to mention again, and I, we're gonna go through beat by beat and talk about it more, but that relationship, because I do have some questions still about Bonnie and Kuma. First of all, the reveal that Kuma was a king of the Sorbet Kingdom.
I mean, we already knew he was a king, but now he's got
Now
that
he's really a
title.
king.
You know
Right?
what
Yeah,
I'm
he
saying?
was our king.
He was our king in our hearts,
Yeah.
but now he was like, an actual king.
An official king. Now he's not just the king of Mehgan, but the king of Sorbet, the Sorbet Kingdom.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
not just Megan's kingdom.
And I was like, okay, no, the fact that Oda chose like the craziest panel to reveal that, because it's like the king,
dude.
and he's like literally like being ridden on by a celestial dragon.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, by the way,
one,
the worst,
too. One of the worst ones.
the worst way to see a freaking Kuma
Well, I
so
think
far.
Carlos is probably the worst one, but yeah,
No,
go on,
like,
sorry.
Oh,
like
right.
to show, like, Charlos.
I think
is a
they're the
bitch.
same family though.
They are.
They
The
are.
guy who was on
That's
top of
his
Kuma.
son. Carlos is, I think, that guy's son.
Yeah.
I think.
I mean, what a cool name though, Charlos. Like, it's
What a
probably-
cool name for a
Carlos.
freaking loser.
I know he's a loser, but
Yeah, Charles.
cool name.
For a goofball. For a bozo.
yeah.
Yeah.
But what a crazy thing for Oda to do. Like, imagine just reading and then you just like, he always has those little introductions, or if the characters have been gone for a while, the names and stuff. Like, imagine just missing that. You're like, wait,
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah, and I don't know if first of all, we see Bonnie kind of infiltrate, the Celestial Dragon's gate. And when she gets there, she's in an older form that they recognize, the guards there recognize as being a queen. Then she kind of sneaks in and turns into herself. Now, if she could just age things forwards and backwards, then that makes me believe then that she either A, is really that age and her devil fruit allows her to be just this like at her most, I guess.
Her peak, her
Yeah, her
prime.
peak.
Yeah,
prime,
yeah. That's what I think too. Like, it's so funny that she's always eating and stuff, because like, what would the first thing like an older woman would do if they were able to turn young? I mean, eat whatever the fuck you want. You can
she's
age
always
in and
asking
out.
for junk food too.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
hell yeah. Like, I'm in my peak. Like, I don't give a shit. So it is.
Right.
It is funny to see that. Like, to see like, oh, okay, she
And-
probably is an older woman doing this.
So if
That's
she
so
is
wild.
an older woman and she has this relationship with Kuma, is she Kuma's like wife? Was she Kuma? Is
Mom.
she
Her mom,
Kuma's-
his mom.
Right, Kuma's mom. Like that would be crazy too.
Be wild.
Or it could be like an adopted child. Like, maybe he likes
Right,
Game of Thrones.
right.
It could be a bastard.
Could be a
True.
bastard. Could be a bastard.
Yeah, but you're right. They did recognize her
Yeah.
They
as,
did.
as a queen. So it's just like the amount of history between that, because you realize a lot of the characters that have had a lot of focus or like seem like really prominent, like the supernova admirals, a lot of the Marines, you don't know their backstories.
No.
Really,
No.
especially the supernova, except for Law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And well, past, yeah, I guess Capone, you know about his past technically, but there's a lot of characters you just don't know a damn thing about. So
Yeah.
it's like the Oda could just do whatever he wants with them, and to an extent, it'll make sense simply because of the fact that he was either waiting or just decided this is what's going to happen with this character, and it's dope to see, like, especially since you're people have been reading for like years, so it's like Bonnie's a character that people have been waiting for forever.
Yeah. Me
And now
included.
this single chapter just opens up so many avenues into
because
her
of all the
character.
supernovas, the worst generation, she was someone who I felt like got like the littlest amount of play.
For sure.
Like Capone had a big part in Whole Cake, Apu and Kid, even in Saboti, and then their alliance,
Hawkins
like
too, even their alliance.
we don't get a lot of backstory about them, but we at least get a lot of like screen time.
Even
I guess.
the Mad Monk Rouge.
Yeah.
That guy.
Uroge, I think.
Yeah,
like
I think it's Rouge.
Oh yeah. You
And
watched.
He beat one of Big Mom's top 4 people.
Yeah, like.
So, but you don't know a damn thing about it.
You don't know anything about them, and it's
Yeah.
crazy. It's crazy to think about because just because we see them so much, I start to feel like as a reader, like I know who they are, and
But
then,
you don't.
But you don't. Yeah, you don't. You don't.
It's just so much like content in between. Like, and it's cool because you don't really forget about the character.
No.
You're just like, what? You're gonna do something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oda, you gonna do something? Square up? Like you square up on Oda?
Well, yeah.
Damn.
I'll meet you at World Star Island, dude.
Yeah.
And we'll square up.
Yeah.
Watch out! This is a
Watch out.
gang.
Not only that, of course, but and that's why I think that's where I think the Game of Thrones inspiration, you can really feel it the most when there's the reveal of that throne and the 20 swords that have
The
all been
empty
kind
throne. Yeah,
empty
fantastic.
throne. But at the end, it seems that there is someone who is kind of sitting in that throne, or does sit in that, even though he didn't actually sit in that
I
throne.
think he did. He sat in the
He
throne.
said at the end, yeah.
At the
He
end,
did
he
sit,
sat in
and we
it.
saw his ass. We saw his ass in the
Yeah,
Ass hit the
because
seat.
you can. There's like a noise that comes from him. It's just like thump or like sit.
What
like,
kind of
He's got a
noise?
fat ass.
He's fat ass. He goes.
Gunk.
He goes.
He goes,
fucking the most accurate fart noise I've ever heard.
I know.
I
You did
have
it
a
so
catalog.
well.
I have a catalog of fart noises.
Yeah,
If you want me to
yeah.
ever go through them, that's
Okay,
another one.
okay.
That was really fucking nasty.
That was if you're in audio only.
Yeah, he's
I'm
doing
really
it
sorry
real.
about
He's
that.
not.
I pulled the mic down to my ass
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and did it.
Cheeks over the microphone as we speak.
overfloweth.
Yeah, yeah. Got about an inch and a half in there, and
Oh,
then did it. You
Okay.
know?
Okay.
You didn't have to talk about
Inch and a half.
penetration.
Inch and a half.
Inch and a half. I said inch and a half. But yeah, so there is this like ruler of the world then that even the five elders, because Oda makes sure in the Reverie to say at some point, either a character or in some of the text above them says that these are, I think when Shank shows up too, which was another big part of it, Shank
Yep.
shows up to talk to the five elders and he has this rapport with them to request this audience before the Reverie with them to talk about a pirate. We don't know who this pirate is either,
Right.
but they make it a point to say these are the five most powerful people in the world in terms of like political power. Like they run the world.
Mm.
And then there's this mysterious other person
Yeah,
all of a sudden who they are bowing down to, worshiping.
They make it a point to say these are like the rulers of the world or the five elders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're the rulers of the world, and there is no one king of the world.
Right.
Mhm.
So like, is this?
This
is
is the
this the-
king.
is
This
this
is the
the-
king of the world.
Yeah,
This is the
The
King of
whole
Shadows right here.
Yeah.
yeah.
And this
Crazy.
person, and again, two things about this person that are like absolutely insane. One,
This thing, I don't.
yeah, this thing.
I don't know what the hell
Yeah.
this thing is. Emu? What? What even are you?
Yeah, dude. I mean,
Freak.
Yeah, he looks like like when we were watching that season of American Horror Story, and there's those like creepy guys in the woods, wearing
yeah.
those black clothes. Yeah.
The what?
Yeah.
In Coven when they're wearing like it's like
Oh,
in the,
when
in
they
the
have like the
intro.
black
Yeah.
pointy hats.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes. He's an occult, something of the occult.
Yeah.
I was doing the things
Right.
like
It was spot on, spot on.
I can't tell the difference. Right.
That's why you were confused. You thought we were playing.
yeah.
Right.
song.
You're like you guys didn't tell me you're planning this.
Yeah, you guys didn't tell me you had sounds ready to go.
Yeah, I was really stressing before this.
But yeah, so he's like pulling all the strings. But I think what's crazy about him too, he's erasing someone from history. Number one, or has the power to do that. Right?
He's the one that they ask.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
go, who are you going to do next? Like it's a freaking
Like,
bachelor.
damn, like
like
he-
I'm gonna
yeah.
choose. I'm gonna get my rose too. Like
Yeah.
and you know who he had a picture of?
See, that's the thing. So there was a picture
Mm.
of Blackbeard there. There was a
Blackbeard.
picture of Luffy.
Luffy, Shirahoshi.
Yeah, Shirahoshi.
And then he took
He took
Vivi
Vivi's.
But
to go sit down on the throne.
Shirahoshi's was stabbed through the eye, but he took Vivi's. But
Mm.
Vivi's was like the only one that wasn't sliced up and,
Right.
and cut up or
Exactly.
whatever.
Mhm.
Because maybe Vivi is the only one he hasn't tampered with
Mm.
in their destiny just yet.
Well, they do
Mm.
mention Alabasta being the only, the descendants of the only people of the 20, I think.
20 families
Yeah.
that didn't go to Marie-Joie. They decided to stay in their original kingdom.
Mhm.
They didn't get a new royal family, nothing. It's just been the Nefeltaris. That's the thing people forget too, is that the other 19 families those countries have new families, like Dressrosa, Riku.
Yeah.
You got the Riku family. I'd be curious to see if there's other families that from the other countries, because I don't know if we know, like, we know Dressrosa, Alabasta, and then I don't think we know any other, like, original, one of the founding world government countries, but yeah, I think that'll come into play
Well,
really big later.
That makes me interested because, like, if the void of history, like, what if like the people of the D are
Mm.
one of those?
Well, that's the thing. Like, either secretly they could be like a descendant of the celestial dragon family, or they're completely not related. But I don't know. I just feel like I feel like it wasn't so much as, oh, the people of the D were one people, and then the 20 kings were like completely separate people. I feel like there was more. I feel like there's so much more to their actual. It's more. Basically, what I'm saying is that it's more complicated than just simple like these people versus these people, which I think like, an example of it being more complicated is Blackbeard, because it seems like he is like completely evil, but we've seen a lot of the people of the D be pretty righteous. So I think that's a cool example of like you really don't really know the full history of, or obviously not, but it's like it's just going to be more complicated than what we believe.
Yeah.
Because even you talking more about the hockey in general, and talking about how, you know, going back to even like Vegapunk unlocking basically like the secret to life and everything, or the blueprints to life, I guess, or discovering them, and how everything is connected. Just the D might also play into this like connection, this like larger connection of people that, you know, they're able to tap into their maybe ancestors of these people, and they're able to tap into them, but they still, you know, have the same beliefs that they have currently presently, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like there's a chance that, and this has been shown in other shows too, but like in Avatar, you know, in Avatar, he looks to the other past avatars, and he's able to speak to them and stuff. I think that with the lineage factor and the thing with like, it's the thing with DNA and life where there's no really like past, present, or future. It's just all one single cyclical kind of way of reality and being. So I think there could be a way where not necessarily like Luffy's going to be like talking to somebody from the past, from the D, but I think that I wouldn't be surprised if there was somebody that's still alive from that time period.
I don't know. Like,
or they brought like his personality from like 1,000 years ago out.
Yeah, that's what I'm
like
thinking.
That,
like, I mean, because Luffy wasn't born yet, obviously, before, you know,
he
Roger's
wasn't born
execution for a while. Like, what if Luffy's just like the reincarnation of Goldie Roger?
We'll see, and that's the thing. Are we bringing in like reincarnation as well? Because we've also seen that Oda likes to pull from everywhere. He likes to pull from history, but he also likes to pull from religion. When we did our episode talking about Impel Down with Tekking, Dante's Inferno, you know, all these levels, how he likes to implement this like system in a lot of these places, just this level and what that represents. Like, I mean, the possibility of something like reincarnation is really plausible too, I would think, you know, like someone's, like,
because you can inherit devil fruits when that person dies. It's technically reincarnation. Like, they're literally reincarnating their power into a fruit.
Yeah. Well, that goes with the concept of inherited will. So they say that a lot, is that it doesn't matter how much time will pass, is that the will of the people or whoever will always carry on into the future in one way or another. So it could be complete physical reincarnation, but it might be more along the lines of an innate idea that will upend like the world structure. So I think maybe probably One Piece and the island of Laugh Tale,
which we learned about in
Stampede. Which
we learned about it in Stampede.
Some people have an issue.
Go off.
Issue.
Go off.
Like, bro, it was released in the damn movie. Like,
and
Oda already signed off on it. Damn, like it.
Yeah.
It's like
he wouldn't have done that if he didn't.
But it's like, yeah, exactly. It's like, and I know, like, you know, Oda might not. He's like the god of everything, but it's like, dude, the author put it in the movie. Like, at that point in time,
he knew what he was
wanted
doing
to set something up. Yeah, clearly.
Yeah. But what are you saying? Go off about that more.
Oh, about Laugh Tale. What exactly was
your train of thought? If I'm being
inherited will.
Yeah.
Inherited will and Laugh Tale.
Laugh Tale.
So yeah, it's just like the you know how like how birds kind of know their way instinctively around the world.
Yes.
I think it's the same idea of people of a certain type will instinctively the D will instinctively be drawn to Laugh Tale maybe. And there's this thing where the people of the D seems like all of them die with a smile on their face.
Right.
So you go to Laugh Tale, Laugh Tale is literally means. It's hard to navigate because there's still certain circumstances, but I just think that the name of Laugh Tale is like fantastic. Like
that's what I was thinking too, because like we do have like characters with the D, like they do die with a smile on their face, like Goldie Roger, like Luffy's like always smiling, like laughing, like just cheerful people. And then we have things like, you know, like devil fruits, like smile, like there's something about this,
right?
The concept of comedy,
the concept of comedy and laughter and like cheerfulness.
So it's really dope how in the beginning you recognize One Piece as pretty goofy, you know, and it's got its like style to it and genuine comedy. Like there's genuinely good comedy in it, and it's crazy.
Sorry,
it's crazy how like they're really incorporating that tone of goofiness, not into just like they're incorporating it into like the lore too, and like the story. So it's just crazy how One Piece is truly a series that builds on its ideas, like in ridiculous ways. Like I think the concept of laughing and smiling it very much is extremely intentional. With
and we were talking about some other people of the D.
I think they all died with a smile on it. Saul and Ace.
Well, yeah, and then you're even looking back all the way to Jaguar, I believe is his name.
Saul.
Saul, Jaguar, and he, being a giant, right, leads me down this train of thought of this mysterious figure, Emu, which, again, I want you to go off a little bit on, like,
I'll talk
some
about
of the theories that you heard of even just the origin of that name or meaning. But he's looking at a giant straw hat. So it's a second, like, straw hat in existence, and it's giant. We know that giants can be of the D as well, you know, specifically with like, you know, Jaguar and whatnot. But what does that mean? I cannot wrap my head around. Like I've spent days racking my brain. Like what can that mean?
Maybe Emu's just a fan of Luffy and he got sold
it's
that
Bartolomeo.
Bartolomeo sold him that, and he was just like, this is kind of cool. Like I'll give it to you for like, you know, he probably
a novelty size. That's why it's a little novelty size.
You know, it's a collector's edition.
Right.
Straw hat.
Deluxe
Giant.
edition.
Yeah.
Deluxe edition.
Right.
Maybe
That makes
that's
sense.
why.
That tracks. Actually. I like that theory. So mark that. Put it in the Reddit threads. That's good.
Yeah, they'll like that.
They'll love
the
that.
hoe is gonna love
They're
this.
gonna love this.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know if anything more has been revealed because we only have Wano left to go.
True.
So we're almost there, but we're still a significant chunk of chapters away from catching up because Wano's so huge. Wano's so huge.
No, because you just tweaked out. You're like,
I was just laughing.
So I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that comes back, if that is something that's just been sitting there in the Reverie and hasn't been addressed again. But I can't, again, imagine what this would mean because the significance of the straw hat would be the one that Luffy is wearing, the one that Roger wore, the one that Shanks wore. What would this second, other than it being a symbol, other than it being this thing that just holds meaning in, you know, I don't know. And it being so big, again, just I can't help but go back to giants. But talking more about that name, like there were some theories, or you had found out a little bit more about
I don't
that.
know the exact specifics, but I think someone said online that Emu as a name is similar to the sea or water, or something to do with like clearly something to do with the sea too. And I think that it's just one of those things where Emu might he's being saved for a certain point in the story, maybe that that literally just his existence will upend what we know, you know. And of course that's what he already did, but I think even more so, like maybe even his face would be like ridiculous to us. It's just, I love how Oda is just, the mysteries are definitely one of the driving forces of the series. And another thing about Emu is that a big theory that might not have any water. I don't know, bro. We're just talking, you know.
Yeah, we're just chilling now.
We're just chilling. It was
Having a
6
good
chapters.
time.
We got to talk about this stuff, you know. So
yeah.
There was a theory that Emu's eyes is an indication of there being kind of like a common divine or a godly type of thing, because there's other characters in One Piece that have similar type of patterned eyes. And like, for example, Mihawk, he has similar ringed eyes. And if we just go by like his name, Dracula Mihawk, if we go with the kind of like the godly thing, he might be immortal.
Dracula.
Yeah, Dracula, that whole thing.
Mhm.
Also, who else was it? Zunisha. Zunisha has ringed eyes. They might not be the same color, but they're clearly detailed more than most people's eyes. And then we also have, and Zunisha's thousands years old.
Yeah.
So, and then we also have Hakuba,
Cavendish's
Cavendish's alter ego. His eyes turn all crazy.
Yeah.
Apparently, and you only really see his eye when they're like split in half, though.
Yeah.
So, but he doesn't even have any eyes when he's regular Hakuba, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, it just seems like there's like a consistent little through line that has reached its point with Emu. And of course, there's more theories out there, but I think that especially with the eyes can be pretty intentional.
Yeah.
And there's other things in the future where it can do something to do with the eyes that it helps it even more so. So
I'm excited to get to that point, dude. I'm so hyped for Wano in general, and I can't even imagine again like where this is gonna go. Especially after the Reverie, it seems like it was called the Reverie. It was called this thing. It was named after this thing where all these people were gonna meet, and we didn't even get to hear them talk yet. So I wonder if we're gonna get to hear them talk like going into Wano, if we're gonna learn more about like what happens there, what that's gonna mean, what that ripple effect is gonna be. I have no idea. I do know that now Wano is broken up into 3 acts, and the first act is pretty short, so that's probably how we'll end up covering it by act. But yeah, I don't know. Do you guys want to start going through it a little bit, and just in case we didn't miss anything? So we're gonna go through it a little bit more beat by beat, just in case we didn't miss anything. I'm sure there are gonna be little things here and there that we missed. Yeah, let's just do it. So where it opens is, and this is super interesting too. It opens with Luffy and Chopper on the Sunny, and they're telling Sanji, they're like pestering Sanji to keep his raid suit.
Bruh.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, that his brother left. He's like, it must have been my brother's doing. Like, I don't need this right now.
Yeah.
And they're like, just do it. You look so cool. If you don't throw it out, we want it.
Yeah,
we want it.
I want to wear it.
I want to wear it. And even Sanji's like, no, this is more Frankie's thing. Like,
right.
Well, it's kind of funny because he did say like, if I'm gonna get stronger, it won't be by using the power of science. And I just hope my boy Frankie wasn't anywhere near earshot of that, because I just imagine he'd be still steering the Sunny, just tears down his face.
Yeah.
What do I even do this? What do I even do this for?
Yeah,
you go to Whole Cake, you come back different.
Yeah.
You come back different.
Yeah, I just imagine every time I see Frankie and Robin not on page, like I just assume they're together.
They're,
Definitely.
I
I didn't mean to agree to that specifically.
You kind of did that.
I did. I just meant that it's fucking canon.
Yeah,
it's not like they're never gonna do bro. It's canon.
Bro, every time it's just a fact. Like
it's just a fact.
It's just fact, yeah.
And I'll be, because what we talked about and what you were pointing out in our last episode, like I'll even start to concede that like Nami and Sanji are probably some like 2 people that are probably
a more special
end up together.
Yeah, they do, because I was reading on. I mean, you kind of see it through like what their main goal is. Nami wants to make a map of the world, right?
You need to find the next sea. There's all blue. It's like a whole nother ocean you need to map out. Damn.
Exactly. So they're kind of destinies.
They kind of have to stick together.
That's what I'm saying. So it kind of makes sense. Like, I forget what the ship is named. Is like Sami. I think it is.
I'm sure it could be like
Nanji.
anything.
Nanji, Sami, Frobin.
Frobin is excellent name.
Frobin's
perfect.
Excellent. Yeah, some people. And I don't entertain this at all. I don't like this, but
right.
I have heard that people ship. I don't even want to say it out loud. It's gonna make me throw up.
I'm about to barf.
Yeah, I can't. I'm getting nauseous.
Robin and Chopper.
Okay, what?
That's not even a real thing, Mehgan.
Okay.
I don't know what corners of the
I
internet
saw
it's all
it
around,
on TikTok saying like, "Oh,
Okay,
good morning
there's
to
your problem
everyone,"
right
but
there.
people that ship. I'm like, what? I didn't even know that was a
so
thing.
you didn't even see ships. You just heard someone calling out people who have that ship. So you didn't even
They're calling them out because they exist.
Because they exist.
Maybe they're a drama fiend.
Drama fiend.
A drama fiend. Maybe they were just maybe
causing
they're
controversy.
Yeah. Maybe they're from World Star Island and they're just coming here
Wow.
to start shit.
They're
Bunch
like
of
Morgan
demons.
Dish, huh?
Morgan. Yeah,
Morgan.
Morgan's.
Fake news.
What's his name?
Morgan's.
Morgan?
Yeah, Morgan's. He's your boy and you don't even remember
I don't know his
name.
name.
Morgan's.
I just call him a
Bird boy.
bird boy. Yeah, bird guy.
Bird boy.
I don't think he would
For
like
what?
that very much. But anyway,
I think it's
yeah,
funny.
he gets his he holds onto his raid suit. And look, guys, I know we're trying our best to avoid spoilers at all costs, but we just wanted to go through and watch some of the Reverie anime episodes. And when we clicked on the One Piece anime
On Crunchyroll, the main cover
is a Wano of them in Wano, right? And
Right.
Sanji's holding, Sanji's holding that raid suit thing. So I don't know what that is going.
and he's
to,
holding it like he's clutching it.
He's
Yeah.
clutching it.
Well, it's
yeah.
like if you bring it into the story, it'd be weird if you just don't even see it. Like,
Yeah.
he's like, oh, he broke it, or like he just threw it away. I'm like,
I
all right.
mean-
Well, who knows? It's like hundreds of chapters later, he's able to use it again. But
Yeah, when you
Yeah.
just as soon as you forget about it, that's when Oda's going to bring it back.
oh yeah,
Right.
yeah.
But we also see that Zeus is on the ship too, so it's cool to see that Zeus is still hanging around with everybody. I love that Nami has this like sentient clown.
He's
I
a
keep
clown.
saying that.
He is a kind of a clown.
Zeus is a bozo.
Yeah.
He is a little bit of a bozo, dude.
He's a
But
glutton.
yeah, she's there giving him a hard time. She's being a strict master.
What?
Yeah. But it's just cool that I wonder how long, because I can't help but wonder if it's a cloud with, and I think we talked about it on a previous episode too, a cloud with Big Mom's soul in
Yes.
it.
Yeah,
Like how much lifespan did she put into that thing?
probably a good amount of that
Really?
I would say too.
fat lifespan inside that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
big old fat lifespan.
Big old lifespan. Yeah, plenty of lifespan.
Yeah. Well, you got to think about it too. Maybe Big Mom, because she's so she's big and she's.
They call it's in the title.
and
Yeah,
she-
you don't have to-
Yes, it's
Why are
Big
you
Mom.
making apologies? She's a cannibal.
She likes to be that way.
yeah, but I'm saying
She
eats-
does.
She eats a
She
lot
prefers
of.
it.
She eats a lot of sweets and stuff. She
She does.
has a very unhealthy diet, is what I'm saying. She eats like cake and all this stuff. My point is that maybe like 1 year of her life it doesn't really it's maybe shorter than like the average person's life, because she's
Because of her cholesterol. Like,
yeah.
I mean, she stays fucking though, so she's got that exercise.
maybe she's done. Maybe
Yeah,
she's
maybe.
done.
maybe that's the secret. She just be
Yeah.
fucking.
yeah.
Maybe you're onto something. But yeah, I just love seeing the gang for the most part back together, chilling on the Sunny. Because they still haven't met up with everybody else in Wano though, so
No.
Shit, no.
there's still a big significant amount of them that are missing, but at least they're all back in one place, because they're running around whole cake like all split up, all so,
Yeah.
like, I like that they're together, and I like that they're on the Sunny.
And I like
Yeah.
that they're just like, cracking jokes, being silly.
Yes.
Yeah. Pedro died though.
Yeah, I was just I
Don't get it fucking
literally
twisted. Pedro died for the cause. He said,
Bro.
"I'm dying for the dawn today."
Bro, I literally just like stopped crying about that shit yesterday, and like you bringing it back up right now, it's gonna be
Just
hard.
saying, it's crazy.
It's
Bro,
gonna be
that
hard.
scene with Carrot, I don't think we talked about it
Oh,
a lot, but
when,
that
when
made
she was
me
like
that made me
Sanji.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
That made me really sad.
That was sad.
She was
Yeah.
like, because she was always cheerful,
Yeah,
and then
and she's trying to console Sanji. She's like, "Don't feel bad about it." But she
is.
just start crying. I'm like,
Oh.
Yeah, it was very sad.
Pedro.
But she's speaking of Carrot, she's up there. She gets a paper, the newspaper with the bounties in it. Not everybody's bounty, but there are a couple bounties that have been updated or changed in there. One of them is Sanji's.
Yeah, some good bounty reveals.
Yeah, some really cool bounty reveals. Sanji's is now 330 million berries, which is actually
Ooh.
10
10
million
milli.
above Zoro's.
and he was like, ha ha.
Yeah, he was like,
And Zoro,
"Oh, force." Yeah,
Yeah.
I like
that was Zoro's laugh?
Yeah.
Oh, he's been hanging out with Perona so much.
Yeah.
Him and during that 2-year period, him and Mihawk and
I
Perona.
like Hogback slap too. He's like, force. His laugh is funny. Thriller Bark is funny as hell.
Bro, Thriller Bark is awesome.
Yeah.
Thriller Bark is great.
Awesome.
And Luffy is a little bummed out because his bounty, according to him, went down.
Bro, I kind of believe this shit though, because like
I did
we
too.
had
I
a
did too.
reveal of like Sanji saying, like bring back alive only. It's like, was there a
Right.
reason why the government was like put his bounty down? We don't want everyone after him.
Yeah.
We need him or something. I was like, oh,
You
okay.
don't know what they could do with bounties after that.
I know.
No, yeah.
I
Well, because
know.
because like you said, Sanji's dad Judge was able to manipulate the bounty
Yeah.
and make it higher so that more people would want to capture him. So this is a thing they could do. I don't know why they would lower it, but I did kind of have that same thought too. Like, why would they do that?
Yeah.
It did catch me off guard that it was actually not.
Because
whatever
it
he
would
thought.
be difficult to, like, you could believe it, but when you think about it, it really doesn't make sense because he just got more dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm
And
saying. I don't know why.
You would need people to like be aware of that. You can't just hide like that he's more dangerous than
going right after
most
Big Mom
pirates
and defeated Katakuri. I mean,
unless
there's like a triple whammy.
Kainu's like, I don't want anybody else to go after him. Like, I want it for myself.
Well, there's a lot of people after him just in general.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Like Big Mom is still after him. Like she's not stopping.
Big Mom literally is
hot on his tail.
Big Mom said that she is gonna go to Wano.
Yeah.
She did say that. She's like,
she was like, I'm coming for him.
You.
She's like, I didn't say it. She's like, I didn't tell you just to like ask for permission. I'm just letting you know that I'm
gonna
coming.
be there.
I'm gonna be there.
Big Mama's coming.
Yeah,
she's
Big Mama's coming.
Whether you like it or not.
Yep.
You better have some cake ready. You better have some cake
wedding
ready.
Cakey.
Get the food ready.
Wedding cake.
Get the bathroom ready.
Bro, for real. Well, Kaido's bathroom is probably already like huge.
Right?
So, yeah. I imagine
I bet Kaido takes massive shits.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
bigger than
nothing
me.
compared to like Magellan Mehgan over here, but
it's an ongoing joke that I don't appreciate.
What's the joke?
The joke is that Mehgan is like
a serial shitter. Like,
well, no, Mehgan is like the warden of Empledown. Magellan.
Yeah,
it's just every we go live. You know, we were out for a long time, 3 hours at a time, and I am drinking liquids. I have to go to the bathroom, and they made it a joke that I like shit every time I get up to go to the bathroom, and I'm gone.
You don't even go.
No, I'm literally gone for like not even a minute. I time, and I, do my business, wash my hands, and then come back and be like, Magellan Meg is back.
That's good. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's
and
great.
He plays, like war horn sounds. Anyway, Kaido probably takes worse shits than Big Mom.
Kaido shits.
Yeah, Kaido shits big.
Yeah.
Kaido shits Big Mom for breakfast, dude. So anyway. And then it cuts to everybody else around the world reading of Luffy's exploits with Big Mom on Whole Cake Island. So we see Croc reading the newspaper, Dalton reading the newspaper,
sorts of
Bart,
people,
Vivi, everybody. And then I think it's narration or it might even be.
It's like what the article is saying.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. It is them talking about the arrival of the 5th Emperor of the Sea. Now the way it was written, I mean, I went back and I reread it like so many times. Now, is the Navy declaring him to be an Emperor of the Sea, or
that's the thing. Is it a fake news Big Morgan's thing?
Oh,
or is it a Kainu being like, oh shit, like I got to give him his own category or something?
Yeah.
But then again, he was like, cut this 5th Emperor shit. He's not no.
Yeah.
That's what Kainu said. He's the head of the Navy.
Yeah.
But I mean, look at what Luffy has done. It's undeniable. He's easily the 5th craziest pirate out there in my eyes.
Yeah.
I mean, they already broke it down. Like he beat Big Mom's like 2 out of the top 3 people. Knocked out her castle. Sabo's my brother.
Yeah.
Ace was my brother.
I have a fucking like army with me. Like of like and they themselves, and that army and the Grand Fleet is composed of people with hundreds of millions of dollars of bounty, and they're from other countries too. Because we saw Sai, he was representing his country at Reverie. So it's like the influence is easily an empire influence for sure. The only thing he's missing right now is actual territories, but technically he does have a territory with Fishman Island.
Fishman Island is his territory.
Yeah.
So it's like in a lot of ways he easily is the 5th Emperor.
Yeah, he totally took over.
But when you actually cut to the emperors and Akainu, they're like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. They don't acknowledge him, but the world, and even if it is Morgan's just kind of writing this over,
it's not the most inaccurate though.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah.
Especially with that bounty too, that the government issued to him though.
Yeah.
So that's the highest bounty we've seen.
That's what I'm saying. They could, if they don't want to admit that he's an emperor. Like, we don't know what Big Mom's bounty is, right? Or do we?
No, we don't know
or
any of their bounties.
Or they probably just cap out. Like, money means nothing.
Yeah, like why even give them? Just say like highest priority.
Yeah,
they're actually going to start offering you money to not go after them.
Shit,
yeah. Which I thought this was crazy, dude, and just insane. In my eyes, Luffy is the 5th Emperor, dude. I mean,
Luffy is the king of the pirates. Sorry.
Sorry, bitch.
That's what I meant.
Said Emperor. Different.
Emperor. Oh my god, we're on to some other
bozo time.
I meant
PK.
I meant the 5th
Bozo time.
The fifth Bozo time of no, he's the king of the pirates.
Pardon?
He's the king of the pirates, but when I said fifth emperor, I just meant that they had to give him his own class, right? They had to create this whole new thing for him because kings, you know, they kings reinvent structure. Kings, you can't put a king in a box. You can't keep a king in a box. Yeah, was that okay?
You're a master at saving some.
You might want to like cut that.
Yeah, I'll consider it. I'll actually genuinely consider it.
Shit.
Just kidding. So anyway, we cut to another person we haven't seen in a long time. Kobe. We see Kobe again.
Kobe!
Oh, he's looking cool as hell.
He
Kobe's
does.
look cool.
I love his color scheme. I love his little bandana action. Like, he's fly.
He is, dude.
Bro,
he's one of the coolest looking Marines at this point.
He really is. Dude, they need to, again, One Piece needs to have a Met Gala, dude. And like Lucci needs to show up, dude. Like Kobe needs to show up. All these people need to show up just dressed into the nines.
Yeah, I want to see.
Yeah, I gotta see.
Yeah.
I gotta see. Even like Kaku's like CP, you know. Zero.
Oh, I'm glad someone acknowledged Kaku's little outfit.
Bro, it's kind of fire,
it's kind of
dude.
fucking lit.
It's
kind
kind
of cool.
like the swaggiest shit I've seen.
Yeah,
maybe
like his
in all of
hat.
One Piece.
Oh my god, his hat
And we
is
saw
the all white CP0 is kind of dope.
That's
bro.
what I'm
We saw
saying.
Stussy.
We saw
Stussy. Stussy's there too.
Stussy's there too.
Bro, they're
Okay,
like
twisted.
CP9. Like who? What? Like they
low
got
key.
to upgrade. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And honestly, as much as people hate Spanum got a little upgrade. You got a little bowler hat on now too.
You did.
Yeah, Spanum took a note out of maybe they got a maybe that's what you get the higher you climb up the ranks. You get a stylist.
He's still ugly as fuck though.
On the inside and mostly on the outside too.
Yeah.
But he looks good. Like his clothes look good.
His clothes look good.
And that's what you got to do.
Right.
If you're ugly on the inside,
yeah, just buy nice clothes.
Yeah, that's the.
If you're ugly on the inside, buy nice clothes.
Yeah, if you're ugly on the inside, ugly on the outside, buy nice clothes.
Yeah.
Shop today.
Ooh.
Yeah, shop today. That was
Advice.
Great pitch.
Advice.
But what's cool about seeing Kobe again too is he's able to first of all stop a torpedo from like hitting.
Bro,
He's different.
Yeah, he's built different, dude.
Something's
really is.
up with Kobe.
Yeah.
He had
Honestly,
hockey pre-time skip.
He did, and even in the manga there, what's his name? Helmeppo is like, damn, like how good is your observation hockey? Like how did you even see that coming? Like again, we are now told that people can see into the future. Like, so it would not surprise me if he's on that level already.
Not one bit.
Because I mean, he doesn't have a devil fruit to rely on. So.
No, he doesn't have a devil fruit because he's catching torpedoes in the water and then like, fucking saving princesses and shit.
Yeah, dude. And I would not be surprised at all if he could see more even into the future than Katakuri and how far can Luffy see into the future? He's got, you know what I'm saying? He's been training, honing his observation hockey, you know.
He has.
Katakuri can only see a couple, like what, like a second or something?
He can see like 5 or 6
5
seconds. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Damn.
He can see, and they move at like light speed. They're moving at all sorts of speeds.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
And Katakuri's devil fruit technically isn't a Logia. It's a
Paramethea.
It's a Paramethea.
Yeah. We got a
Paramethea.
I don't know.
We got a comment about that too, saying that I don't know how much weight this holds, but that at first it was even categorized as a Logia, and then like
Oda went back.
Right.
Yeah,
I think because that was a way for just another way for Luffy to get more damage on him. Because if he was a Logia and if he was crashing into like parts of the mirror world, he wouldn't be getting hurt.
Right.
But he's not a Logia. Like he's gonna make contact with his surroundings. And the thing about people underestimate about Luffy is that when you see him like crash into a building or something, or like into the ground or a rock, that shit doesn't hurt him that much.
Right. No.
Way less than literally anyone else on the planet. So like it's not surprising to me that he's able to take all this shit.
Yeah, take these punches.
Take all these punches. Like he's literally, his devil fruit is literally like, even if he falls to the ground, his body naturally like will like, you know, bring itself back into form.
He's buoyant.
He's buoyant. Yeah.
He's a buoyant boy.
Get your fucking vocab up.
Yeah. For real. Straight up. Damn.
Sorry. It's just been something I feel really passionate about.
vocab.
Yeah. To get my fucking vocab up.
But yeah, this was so cool to see, and even Helmeppo, like you said, commenting on it was crazy too.
Yeah.
Like, damn, dude, your observation hockey is off the charts, dude. Crazy. We get to see Blackbeard, Shanks, and Kaido also reading the paper too, which is pretty insane. They're all aware of everything that's been happening. Kaido's pissed. Shanks is
Kaido's
like,
just mad.
Yeah, Kaido's
Kaido's mad.
Kaido might have been on the toilet. I don't know. But Shanks was like Luffy. You know, he was kind of like a proud dad. You know, a little bit.
He says, I think he says like, we might meet soon or something like that.
Something like
Yeah,
that.
because I mean that implying that he's already. I mean, he's definitely lived
On the
up
way.
to the expectations of being like, you know, I'll meet you again when you're a great pirate.
So when they say great pirate, they don't say king of the pirates.
No.
Yeah. So and they've called, I think they called Big Mom and Whitebeard like one of their titles was great pirate.
Oh.
So I think if you become an emperor, you're considered a great pirate as a title.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So I think that this was a big theory at the time. Like when Luffy actually finally defeats a Yonko, like physically, and he's able to take their spot really.
Yeah.
Then Shanks might consider him on like, you know, equal standing.
Yeah.
Because you're an emperor. You're one of the 4 emperor Yonko.
I mean, it just ties into Film Red again. I mean, like, it even said, like, there's going to be a reveal about Shanks. And I'm like,
there's going to be info for sure about
what
Shanks.
do you mean?
Yeah.
And knowing what, you know, I know now, it just, we don't even know what Shanks is like.
Yeah.
His whole deal is.
Bro, when you told us, like, I can't even remember how far back it was. I don't even remember what point of the story exactly specifically it was. But when you told us, like, we were so hyped on this moment when Shanks went to go talk to Whitebeard.
Right.
And they had this interaction. And we were just like, oh my God, we're finally getting more Shanks. And you're like, bro, we still don't know anything about that guy. And I was like, how?
I was like, because I just had to say it. It's
Yeah.
like, at that point, it's like, because you guys are going to get caught up pretty soon at that point.
Yeah.
And you would notice, like, dude, this fool is not, like, around.
Yeah.
And he doesn't necessarily even need to be, but
no, he doesn't.
when he does, it's like, it's always a point of impact in the story.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. That was crazy. And him showing up here is crazy too. But of course, Luffy, this is the end of the first chapter. Luffy realizes, and everybody realizes, that his bounty is 1.5 billion berries now. Like you said, one of the highest bounties.
It tripled.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
not
baby,
the
a triple.
highest we've ever seen.
That's the highest bounty we've seen. Yeah.
Crazy.
Wild.
We then see the revolution. They're on Kamabaka, the Kamabaka Queendom, Peachy Island.
We love
you know?
that.
Love that.
Ivankov
Love
I
them.
and
love Kuchia.
them are all
Love
talking.
Ivankov.
Hanging out. But Sabo and Dragon have a little talk, and they're pretty much saying that this is the Reverie this year. This Reverie, they're planning on declaring war against the Celestial Dragons.
It has to be done.
Not exactly the world government.
Yeah.
The
No.
Celestial Dragons.
Yeah.
They say that.
Well, that's interesting too, because like Fujitora is going there to like take out the warlord system.
Mm-hmm.
The revolution is going there to declare war on the Celestial Dragons. Like it feels like there's all these people there that are attacking different parts of the government,
Yeah.
but they're all.
And then you realize that there's even more parts of. There's
Exactly.
even more to this like enemy that we're trying to take out than
Yes.
we could have imagined. Really.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I mean, I'd assume since what Doflamingo was talking about, like he knows, he's aware.
And he says, because remember he said he knew about the national treasure in Marijois in Dressrosa.
Yes,
And I think that
Yeah.
treasure
Is
I think it's the
was
straw
the
hat.
guy. Oh, with the straw hat.
I think the treasure might be the straw hat.
Interesting.
Because he said there's a national treasure in Marijois.
you don't think it'd be
that
Emu?
the existence of it. Well, I don't think so. I think like
Mm.
it's like an object, or it's like, because Marijois, they're very much like, it seems like they're very snobby.
Mhm.
You know, they're very elitist like that. But it's interesting to me to think that their treasure is something that isn't really, it doesn't really have any monetary value. It might be, I think it might be like, you know, the prize from if there was a Luffy in the Void Century. If there was somebody like Luffy in the Void Century and he took their fucking hat. And he's
Bro,
like, I'm
now that
keeping
you're
this
saying
shit.
that,
He's like, I'm keeping this forever because I hate them. I hate them.
bro, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it
Yeah,
is.
that's what it is.
No,
I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
No, because like you said, like, and maybe there's a little bit like you were saying too about like reincarnation. It could be maybe somewhat of a factor, or it could be
No,
more
definitely
of a,
inherited will.
yeah,
Yeah.
an inherited will. But like for sure, like in the Void, like this guy went up against like the Luffy of the Void in history,
And the Luffy of that time lost. And
yeah,
which is lit.
yeah,
Which is cool.
crazy.
I mean,
dude.
Roger technically lost too.
Yeah, technically. But he died at like this like disease.
He died of a disease.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I know. I
Yeah.
know.
A disease.
I know.
Really, a disease took out the king of the
Well, I
pirates?
mean, like
really?
Whitebeard was sick too.
But he didn't get
Yeah,
taken out by
but he
no
wasn't.
disease.
It wasn't no disease.
Yeah, it wasn't no disease.
It was old age, right? How old was Whitebeard? I guess.
I mean,
old
he
age.
probably did have like a sickness.
No, he
Yeah.
was.
He
but
was sick.
It wasn't a disease. It was that was like he was injured in all those machines because of his battle that he had with Shanks, right? Or not Shanks.
No.
His battle that he had with
No.
Roger.
Nah, I think he was just old.
No, I think he was just an
He was
old
just
man.
Yeah, he was just an old man that they said he was sick,
Okay.
but
All right,
they didn't
wow.
specify. Well, sorry,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
asked. I gotta bring it down. I gotta
Damn.
tell you.
Whatever.
All right, fuck me.
No, but I mean, it wasn't the sickness, the illness, the old age that
Yeah,
took
that
him
got
out. I mean, he
Roger.
went out like a warrior, dude.
He did.
Right.
He did. He went out the way he wanted to go out.
Yeah.
He knew this was the end. He knew he was gonna die probably in Marineford in that.
No,
fight.
yeah, he definitely
Yeah.
intended to die at Marineford
Yeah.
because he wanted to do the thing that Roger did.
Yeah.
Is that he wanted to make sure that the next generation, which is what Ace was part of, made sure that they were able to flourish and continue to grow
bro,
for
and his
the purpose.
and not only that, it's his fucking son.
Yeah.
son.
Roger's son.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh my god.
Wano is a crazy arc.
Bro,
Stop,
I can't
stop,
even. Yeah, I can't even wait.
You look at the
Wano-
camera and say that. Stop.
Wano is a really good arc, man. I like it a
Oh
lot.
my gosh.
Well, we finally meet some other characters too. We finally meet some more revolutionary captains. We meet Morley. We meet Bella Beto.
I like the captains. man.
Yeah.
I like the captains.
Bello
Cool.
Betty, are you kidding me?
Bella
Bella
Betty's
Betty.
cool as hell. I like
Fire.
Lindbergh is cool.
Yeah, Lindbergh and Karasu.
Karasu.
Yeah.
Karasu's cool too.
They're all sick.
I like Morley. Morley's gay. Like that.
Oh, let's go.
Morley's Kama. How do you say it?
Oh,
New Kama,
yeah,
or
yeah,
is
yeah,
it-
yeah, yeah. Kamabaka.
Or he's an
Kamabaka.
Okama or something like that.
or something. I don't
Okama
know.
way,
I know
yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
come on my way.
Okama way.
Yeah,
Okama way.
yeah. Oh, come on my way. Yeah,
Yeah. Got it.
But these guys are all super sick, and we finally get to find out who that guy was that came to get Sabo at the end of Dressrosa.
Yes.
Which was pretty cool. I still don't know exactly the context of their conversation that they were having. Like saying like maybe he was just talking about his devil fruit ability.
Yeah.
But maybe not. I don't know, dude. If you think you know what Oda's saying, you don't. Has been the lesson that
Okay,
I've
honestly,
learned.
yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, I've learned that lesson the hard way. That's when we get to see Garp again, escorting Shirahoshi. Haven't seen Garp in
That
a
was
while.
That was
Really
so
cool to see.
cute, bro. You know he dropped some fucking. He said, Shirahoshi might be more beautiful than Boa.
Yeah, he did say that.
He dropped that. He went.
He's got a type. Big women.
I was shocked.
What's like the other women that he's?
Yeah,
I
what
don't
other
know. I'm
big
assuming
Big
Dan to
women.
Dan?
yeah. Oh,
Dan to Dan. I can
Dan
call her
to Dan.
Yeah, you can say Dan to
Is it,
Dan.
her name is Daedon
It's
or
the
something.
Dan or
The Dan.
yeah,
I always call her Dan to Dan.
Yeah.
No, but I was like, dang, like Garp,
Mm-hmm.
if you had no idea, you have no idea what Luffy and Boa's relationship is.
He'd be proud.
He'd be
a
proud.
He would be
proud
proud.
He'd
grandfather.
be like, what?
But it's like, Gar,
This
like,
fool, this fucking turd.
who's your wife, girl, dude? Who's Grad Dragon's mom?
yes.
Like,
Yeah,
like
for
who are
real.
these people? Who are
For real.
the women are like just have no like.
That's what I'm.
But then again, it might be on purpose completely.
It might be on purpose, and they're all like united somewhere, and they all come out at the end, and they're like, "Yeah, we're here." Like
That would
Luffy's
be
mom.
fucking nuts.
Yeah.
If Luffy's mom, someone said Luffy's mom is Emu,
That would be honestly, dude. That's
and Dragon's like, I gotta take out the world government because my
ex-wife.
my ex is the devil.
That would be crazy. There was like a theory
That would
going
be
around.
nuts. That
too.
would be nuts. Yeah.
There was like a theory going around too that Crocodile was Luffy's mom. I don't
Because of
know.
Ivanka. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
honestly, if Crocodile used to be a woman, that would be the most fantastic storyline in the series.
Well, that has yet to be. I mean, again, there are some things that Oda has introduced and still hasn't really like super cashed in on, I guess. Like, and for me, like, he's not one to miss opportunity. And that would be a missed opportunity if that never became like a plot point that people
or
could
it never
just-
brought up again.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I don't know. But it was cool to see Garp again after so long. And we also see someone else that was not cool to see after so long. And that was Stelly.
Stelly.
is.
That's my guy right there. He's
Why
got his
do you
eye.
like
He's got his
him?
eye on the throne. He's playing the game.
Yeah, he's like the Game of
He's like the
Thrones.
buggy of the royal world.
Yeah, who was the
Yeah.
guy from Misfits? Who was the guy? Ramsey Bolton. He's like the Ramsey
Yeah.
Bolton.
Oh, do the.
No one's seen the Misfits.
You can
No one's seen the Misfits.
Oh, fine, okay, I'll just do it
But
after.
like, what is he? He's like, Alicia. I can't do it. I can't do it. Misfits
The
is a-
mousy British
yeah,
dude.
yeah. Leave me alone. Yeah, he's like that. If you haven't seen Misfits, it's a really fun show. It holds up. It's a British show. Superpowers.
Josh is going crazy on the impression game lately. Every other episode, you
Thanks,
got one
dude.
in the tank. I don't know what's
Dude,
going on.
You want to hear my what's his name from What We Do in the Shadows?
Johnny Depp?
No, the vampire show.
Well, I'm thinking of. a
Have
completely
you seen
different
IT Crowd or What We Do in the Shadows?
one. Yeah, you could do an impression of that dude.
You tell me.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
If you know the character, he
yeah.
really did get
Yeah.
some of the stuff.
Good
Yeah.
job.
This is Megan's inspired me. All right, moving on.
Okay.
So Stelly's there too, and he's got a little guard with him, and that guard ain't no guard. It's Sabo in disguise. Sabo in disguise. We get to see the bondolas, which are like the balloons that take the bubbles. That take people up.
They take you all the way to the top, and you can see like crows in the distance, like flying, and there's a lot of wind.
And there's a beautiful moment with Shirahoshi too, where she's kind of looking out on
That's a great
land for the first time.
Yeah, the sun.
the sun.
She sees the
The
sun.
sun.
The
Because I want
sun.
to introduce my people to the sun one day, and I was like, Shirahoshi.
You know, the fishmen, they love the sun because they're just underground
just
all the
underground,
time.
yeah.
Like, this is, they're literally just basking in sunlight and they're happy and just like, this is just like, they're so sad. But, the thing with Fishman Island is just, there is so much on that island and so much lore
Yeah.
that, like the sun pirates, it's just, there's so much connective tissue that you don't realize until you get until, even now until the newest stuff, it's just really well put together, man.
Yeah.
It's just
No,
really
I can.
well put
I
together.
mean, even now, just connecting that,
Yeah.
like Fishman,
Yeah.
Sun Pirates.
Reverie really just encompasses most of the themes of the series and ideas,
That's
and
why.
introduces new ones.
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah,
why
Endgame.
I loved it, and I thought these 6 chapters were just like jam packed.
Yeah,
We also then see Fujitora talking to another guy, talking to Ryokugyu.
Ryokyu.
Yeah.
That means a green bull. So he's
So-
green bull.
Green Bull.
So when at the Battle Marine Ford, right, when Akainu got promoted and Aokiji got ousted, I guess, or left, whatever.
Yeah,
There was Fujitora was one of the people that came in to fill those 2 seats,
yeah.
right?
Him and green bull.
And this is the other guy who we
Yeah.
haven't seen yet, who came in to fill that other seat. And if he's anything like Fujitora, I mean, you could tell he's not like Fujitora in personality, but I mean, in terms of power, I don't know where they're finding these people, dude. Like Fujitora
Said it was a draft. So they
but
were like-
come on, dude.
Yeah, like how do you
Yeah, I
conscript
know.
the shit? Where,
Yeah. Wild. Anyway, but we finally get to see kind of from the nose down this character and get to get a little bit of a vibe of his personality. He's talking about like not eating. He only eats like when a pretty lady asks him to or something. He's like,
Sure.
that's why I haven't eaten in 3 years or
yeah,
whatever.
and it's interesting if there's a green bull,
Hmm?
then there has to be
a red
a Red Bull. Oda, you son of a bitch.
Anyway,
Oh my god, he just
shut that
Damn.
down real quick.
shit. Might as well have damn.
Yeah, might as well kill him.
Might as well brought out a gun.
Might as well kill me, huh? Anyway, but
Mary
yeah,
Jouise? What is it, Jouise?
Joie.
Mary
Joie.
Mary
Joie?
Joie.
Kind of looks
Joie.
like London.
London.
where do you get that?
I saw like the buildings
Like
and the
Parliament.
It's just
Parliament.
It looks like the Parliament building.
Yeah. It looks like the
the
Parliament.
Reverie is like the Reverie's like Parliament.
You got good, pretty
good.
good at that.
Yeah. That's still my. I don't know the actor's name. I should probably learn his name.
I got the vibes.
I got the vibes.
You got.
I feel I got heavy vibes, guys.
The Reverie is like Parliament, and Marijois is like London.
Dude, there's a lot of like Pangea Castle.
Yes, and wasn't that
Pangea?
Pangea?
Gia.
Yeah, like let's start really thinking here.
It's for thinking.
Yeah, let's start. You sounded like another character from what we do.
thinking about that, Guillermo.
Yeah, you sounded like another character from What We Do in the Shadows.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay, we're getting lost in the sauce.
Yeah, right. That's
Back
what I
on
was
track.
thinking.
We did the last episode. They hate us.
Speaking of a lot of the features that we see here, one of the features that we see is the moving roads that the
most like disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life.
Fishmen who are there, Neptune,
most ridiculously like
Neptune and family they get a weird vibe, and rightfully so. They're slaves down there.
They can probably smell all the sweat from underground.
Oh yeah. They got
apparently
senses.
there's like so there's people from the beginning of the gate to all the way across the city.
Yeah.
In a line.
There's someone down there cracking a whip saying like, don't move it too fast or not too slow.
Down to like city planning. I feel like when they actually go to, there's an arc in Murijois and they explain like how, like down to the architect, like in real life, down to the architecture and the city planning is malicious. Like there's an idea behind it. Freemasonry.
Damn, you're giving me the chills. You stop.
You ever heard Freemasons, George? You're talking about Ben Franklin earlier.
Yeah, someone in our community said that another celestial dragon that we'll meet is kind of maybe loosely based on Ben Franklin. Don't
Freemason.
know. Freemasons. Illuminati, dark, shadowy figures.
Naughty.
Who knows?
Is there a king? Is there really? Imagine if there's a king of the world.
Probably
actually is just a king. He's
there
like, I'm in charge.
Fucking is. Probably is.
Dog. Is he trying to tell us something?
Does he know? Did he did he see something?
Maybe Oda just like.
No, I'm serious. The Odo is the only way he can get these truths out to the world is by making a manga about a stretchy guy,
a goofy ass manga at that.
Yeah. And they say,
that's how they know they're not going to come after him.
Exactly.
Jesus Christ.
But if someone brought look at this is what he's doing on a day-to-day basis, what are we going to do about it?
Yeah.
People will be like, "Oh, it's fiction." No one will even bat an eye or even expand their horizons after reading this. It's fake.
And then they get
actually,
they get to the last chapter. Someone puts the last chapter in front of them. They're like, "Gugunk," and it's like all the real truths of the world have been revealed.
Yeah.
And he's gonna get executed like Roger.
Yeah.
And he's gonna bring in the new era. Fuck.
Goodness.
I mean, I hope no one executes.
No.
It's like, dude, I'm so excited for
bro, chill, bro, chill.
Dude, is Oda gonna be Roger? Watch Oda be Roger. I'm like, what?
Come on, Divine. Come on.
Oh man. Anyway, moving on. We get to finally see everybody else come together. Vivi, Rebecca, Leo, Shirahoshi, Sai, Wapple, Dalton, Korea's there. Everybody's there. They all
love to see Korea.
I love every time we get to see her. They're all there. They're all hanging out. They're all talking together. Like I said in the beginning, it's just nice to see everybody bonding over their friendships with Luffy. Good time. Fun time. Doflamingo's down in Impel Down talking about that secret, talking about that treasure. And I really do think, I think
it's crazy.
I think that has to be it.
That has to be it.
It has to be.
I love the Karu. He's like mad dogging. Leo, bro, that shit had me dead. He's like his eye. He's like looking at him, and then like the next panel, his eyes like like that classic like white like One Piece like evil eye, or like Luffy when he gets serious, that type of eye. And he's like, and I was like, damn, Karu, chill.
See, there's so many like random characters that come from so many different storylines and kind of like tones.
Yeah,
but they're all just so natural.
Yeah.
Thought like I really could watch a series about like the Reverie group.
Yeah.
Just like all those characters in Reverie and like how they interact. I think Vivi's a really good character. I think her character is really dope.
Her.
I think
so great.
I think that character, literally, like Oda's so crazy at writing that he was like, I'm going to introduce you a character to you that could be one of the Straw Hats and probably would have, if she was on the crew, she'd have one of the best moments. She'd have fantastic. You'd be like, it's not One Piece without Vivi on the crew.
Yeah.
But she's going to stay in Alabasta.
Yeah.
But you're still going to feel the same way you feel about her hundreds of chapters.
Same thing with Bon Clay. I
Same
mean, like
with
Bon Clay's an honorary Straw Hat.
Yeah.
Like Jinbei isn't like necessarily on the crew, like on the ship with them
But he's
all
on
the
the
time.
crew,
But he's
though.
on the crew. He's on the crew.
He's on the crew.
He goes, "I'm your captain." He didn't slap him, but like,
I
he might as well have. Like, damn, like Luffy was on a
that would have been sick.
Like backhand.
Bow.
Damn, chill.
Luffy is
Smack the
crazy
fuck out of
in
Jinbei, bro. Like, come on. Dude.
Yeah, what did you say? You're like,
I was like, Luffy, I don't know if you should be talking to Jinbei like that, dude. Bro, I really
right.
Like, even if you are the captain, dude, chill, bro. Like,
Right.
that's Jinbei, you know? Like,
Right.
That's how I really felt. I really felt that.
Should be. Oh, it's so funny.
But it was cool seeing all of them together. You know, I'm a sucker for that. The dark, shadowy figure guy, whose name we don't know at this point, but we know now by the end of it, looks at that huge straw hat. We already talked about that. That conversation between Big Mom and Kaido, we already talked about.
She's like really gonna like pull up to like what
She is.
What even is gonna happen?
She's gonna beat the shit. She's gonna
She's gonna beat the.
she's gonna beat her shit. No, she's for blood. She's in for blood.
Yeah.
She's in it for blood.
Well, that's the thing. Like, this is why I'm starting to think, because at
Insane.
first, like, dude, there was a conversation that me and Mehgan had, like, off mic, and I was stressed, dude. I was like, how is Luffy gonna do? How? Like, just because, I mean, I know he's so strong. I know he's very capable. I know his will always prevails, but like, it's just what he was up against in Whole Cake. Now he's going to Wano, like, and now Big Mom is going to Wano, and so it's not like he's just gonna have to fight Big Mom, but he's gonna have to fight Big Mom and Kaido. Yeah, he's gonna have to fight both of these emperors.
Yeah.
But what I think is gonna happen now, because of the conversation between the two, that they're gonna have some sort of
might be like a 3-way fight. Completely.
Yeah.
That would be nuts.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, now Luffy will have to rely, obviously on his crew more than ever, but also, people in his his quote unquote fleet, I guess.
Right.
I don't know how much of them will be able to come into Wano. I don't know what that entails yet, but it's gonna have to happen because there's no way that even Big Mom's pirate crew, if all of them go with her, Big Mom's not gonna go by herself.
Right.
That's what I was thinking too.
No way.
It's like I don't think she'd just pop up on her ship. Like she clearly can't.
No.
Like she would need people to be on the ship with her to
she would need her
navigate and all that. Yeah. She need her cooks.
She need her cooks.
It's a long
And I saw
trip.
someone
She's hungry.
mention, what's his little guy, Strusen?
Yeah.
Strusen. Okay, I mentioned that I liked him, but I don't like him because I know he messed up
He's
stuff.
fucking
okay,
evil.
he's literally evil.
Backtracking.
He groomed Big Mom.
But
I
he's
understand
cool.
that. But in the anime, he did sing a cute little song. Okay, and I just like the song, and that's it. And I just think he's funny.
He is funny.
I just wanted to put that out there. I mean, people are still like, "Oh, Caesar's my guy. Caesar's my guy." Like he literally.
Yeah, people
was
need to
trying
chill with the Caesar love.
I don't like Caesar, but I love
No, but there's
Castillo.
like fans
of Caesar.
of Caesar. They're
Or
like "Who's Caesar?"
Doflamingo.
or Dolphin. A lot of Dofi fans.
I
yeah.
love Doflamingo. He's first of all, he had like slaves. Like he's fucking crazy.
People are like, he's my favorite slave owner.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
what a
yeah,
crazy
yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So I just wanted to put that out there before we continue.
Right.
We're talking about Big Mom.
Anyway, they have that conversation and they say, just like old times, meaning that they, implying at least that they had some sort of relationship. That's when Garp's talking about the rocks. He just says rocks. You're right. He doesn't call them rocks pirates. He just says, oh, rocks. Yeah, you didn't know about rocks. Like
It might be an acronym for something.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Rogers only courageous.
It's ROX though.
Oh,
Is it
Rogers. I
Pretty
thought it was
sure.
Rogers.
Maybe
I'm
it's
not gonna
not.
lie to you. I don't think it's not supposed to be ROX. So
Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm tripping.
it's ROCKS.
I'll do it both.
It's rocks, like rocks, not R,
Oh,
not with
okay.
an X.
Rogers only
Kaidos.
crew with a K.
Interesting.
Stupendous. You forgot the S.
Oh, yeah,
you forgot the S.
Oh, you forgot the S.
Silly.
Okay. Possible. Who knows? Everybody always tells me not to undermine or doubt Megan's brilliant mind. So
Who?
there's so many people in the comments, like with the full moon thing, that are like, I love how Josh is always like telling Megan how wrong she is, and she's actually right.
That is true.
Oh, with Sulong?
Yeah.
with the
That's
Sulong.
funny.
Yeah.
I want Lindbergh to go Sulong.
That'd be crazy. dude.
Lindbergh is so cute.
Lindbergh's cool.
And I have kind of trust issues with Oda because it's like, oh, this person's a Minx, but this one's not. And I'm like, okay, what do you
No,
mean?
he's a
though?
mink. He's a mink.
Yeah,
Okay, he's
yeah.
a mink
He's a mink.
for sure. Okay.
Yeah.
But
mink crew.
Morgan's is like a.
See?
Well, there are no bird minks, so it wouldn't matter. Minks are only mammals like that.
And they eat like
Ah.
fish.
And they eat lizard and fish.
Bro, what?
Ah.
Yeah.
Man, I thought Morgan's. I thought I had a grasp on
See,
things.
that's
dude.
what I
No,
mean.
Morgan's has a devil fruit, so yeah.
So
Right,
he's just
right,
a
right.
bird?
Well, I mean,
He chooses to
yeah.
be in his bird hybrid all the time.
That makes him so much better.
Yeah,
Oh, I
right.
love him so much more. Of
He's
course,
cool.
of course, if you had a devil
He's like
fruit, you could
Chopper.
just, yeah, of course, if you had a devil fruit, you would be in that form all the time.
I'll
What's
just
the
be like
point?
a bird.
Not if I was Kaku. Not if I was Kaku's goofy ass walking around with a big ass neck all the time.
He's a whole giraffe. Like you
Yeah.
can't live like that.
You can't,
live like that, but you
that.
can live like a bird.
Morgan's is big, but he can like walk in houses and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's walking around the town.
Yeah, he's
Marathon,
strolling,
like Sesame
yeah.
Street and
Yeah,
shit.
he's strolling. He's
Yeah.
strolling.
Stroll. He's got a stroll to him. Stelly, meanwhile, is eyeing the throne. He sees it for the first time.
Stelly is my king.
And you're really leaning into that. he sees the throne and he sees the swords and he does want to sit up on that thing.
He's like,
he's like,
he
freaks
oh
out.
my God.
He's a real Joffrey.
He's a real Joffrey, I guess, more than a Ramsay. Yeah.
Him. He's great.
You like Joffrey too?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
The fuck? I like brats.
Like B-R-A-T, the dolls, or like punk ass little kids?
Like punk ass kings. Like
punk ass
Yeah,
like
king,
punk
king,
ass
king.
royalty. Like
Yeah.
just like what the fuck's the matter with you? Like you just are so entitled to it, but he's
Yeah.
really funny. Joffrey, I found Joffrey funny as fuck too.
Yeah, Joffrey
He was
wild.
funny as hell. It was funny how wild he was.
Yeah.
So I feel the same way
Wild.
with Stelly.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, I really, after your explanation, I really respect that. I do.
Mm.
At first, I was a little thrown off, but now I get it. Now I get it.
Well, I also like them as people.
Okay. They could have stopped. But what's crazy is all the swords there, you know, similar to the Iron Throne, whatever, yada, yada, yada. But these are swords that were placed there by the original 20 kings, and it was their promise to not like have one ruler, right?
That none of the original kings are over the other, and
Right.
not one country is bigger than the other.
It looked like a lot more than 20 swords.
It was 20, I believe. I mean, I didn't count every single
I mean,
one.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
I
if
could see
was
how
just-
it might not have been 20. It might be more.
it might be, but like they put 2. Like,
Oh, maybe some people, dual wield.
what
I
if
mean, who knows?
20 kings already happened?
What?
What if it's 40 kings?
What?
Dang, so it's like the 20 kings happened already, and then there was a new 20 kings?
Oh, okay.
That
All
would
right,
be
Mehgan.
nuts.
I don't know. Throwing it at the wall.
Yeah. Then we cut back to Megan's about to go Sue Long right now, dude. Anyway,
So long, farewell.
all right.
Auf Wiedersehen,
saying
goodbye.
goodbye.
I do to you and you and you.
We see another character. I don't know how you feel about this. You like Stelly. I don't know if you like this character, but we do see
Love me some
Charlos
Stelly.
again.
Oh.
I don't know how you feel about Charlos.
Charles is lame.
Okay, good. Yeah, we see Charlos.
He's almost
who-
there, though.
He's almost there.
Bro, I can't stand Charlos. Of all
Charlos
the
is-
Celestial Dragons, dude.
He's
the
definitely
worst.
portrayed as the worst one.
No, he is. He's like, oh,
Yeah.
mermaid.
Yeah, I mean, he really.
He's like, oh, with his like chubby ass. He's like,
yeah, that's how he sounds when,
yeah,
that's how
when
his feet
he's
sound.
running, like it was his cheeks and like saliva.
Jowls? He's got jowls.
He's got jowls.
and I'm like, chill, Carlos.
Yeah, chill, Charlos, dude, relax. Yeah, he's the worst, dude. I hate him. He's the
Yeah.
absolute worst. But we see him. He's trying to kidnap Shirahoshi. Lucci, the pastor, steps in
Mhm.
to stop
CP0 flies out coming in, stopping everything.
to stop them. But Sai, well, he comes in to stop Sai and Leo, because Sai and Leo, I mean, I love that, because Sai was going to the Reverie, even though he represented a kingdom, he was going to the Reverie to basically like cut ties, I guess,
With his country.
and become a pirate.
Mhm.
So when Leo jumps in, he's like, I mean, fuck it. Like I'm already I'm already kind of out. Like,
Mhm.
so I'm just gonna go help. And that's when CP0 and Lucci
Mhm.
come in to kind of stop
Yeah.
everything, calling the Celestial Dragons the gods.
Yeah, they really have this belief system with the Celestial Dragons.
Well, that's what the pastor,
And
the
like
pastor
with
preaches.
CP9, in any zombie, it just felt like they wanted to kill people, and like that was their main goal. But
Yeah.
they really they were born and raised by the government. Like they're really indoctrinated.
Anyway, we see someone jump in and save the day. A celestial dragon, none other than Saint Don Quixote
Mosgard.
saves the day. This guy, of course, being the celestial dragon that went down to Fishman Island or crashed. Or
Yeah, he
crash
crashed
landed
down.
in Fishman Island, and he's there to stop Charlos from interfering or taking Shirahoshi as a slave.
Mhm.
And the reveal that he was part of the Don Quixote family was one that kind of caught me
Yeah.
off guard.
I mean, it caught me off guard for sure, but it didn't catch me off guard that like he had a change of heart, just like his like relative, which would be like his brother or whoever he's related to.
Yeah,
His dad, Doflamingo.
Doflamingo's
and-
dad.
Right.
Corazon's dad.
Which is crazy then, because we kind of got lost a little bit right now in the timeline of everything. It's just hard to keep track of, but the timeline for when that happened, for when because do we know exactly if it was his Doflamingo's dad's brother or?
I don't think we know exactly.
It just says uncle, right? Or like What was
I don't
what was
remember
the
exactly,
title?
but well, I mean, his title is just Saint Don Quixote,
Part of the Don Quixote family.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, regardless of their relationship,
Mhm.
it might have been around that time that maybe Doflamingo's dad like left. I don't know if those timelines match up, but maybe he was like that happened, and then him and Shirahoshi's mom like went to the surface, and then that happened, or some other things happened, because it would have to be like more than just like Orihime going there, right?
You know, I think that Doflamingo's dad died first, and then the thing with at Fishman Island happened, because that was like Doflamingo's like 40, so Doflamingo's like 10 then, so it was like 30 years,
right?
And it wasn't 30 years ago when she got shot,
and that's what I'm saying,
Orihime and stuff. So
it's hard to keep track of the timelines, but
but when you think about it, like you can get like a good head on it, because just like the pirate era is only like 24 years now. So
but it's just crazy that he had a change of heart, and we don't know exactly what happened on the surface for him to have that like major change of heart, because even when they left for the surface, it didn't seem like he was being 100% genuine.
Wasn't she going to the Reverie?
Yeah, she went with them.
Yeah,
no, she went with them just to talk to them. No Reverie.
Oh, okay.
She just went there to like discuss about Fishman Island as a whole with like the world government and the Celestial Dragons. So either he got convinced in that conversation when she came back, and he was like reformed then. But she definitely went to go talk to some Celestial Dragons about it, or government,
or government, because he seems to be the only Celestial Dragon that we've seen so far who has had this like change of heart. Everybody else seems to be the worst type.
That really changed. That changed after.
That changed.
Yeah, and Doflamingo's dad.
And Doflamingo's dad.
He wanted to change.
Yeah,
right.
And it's interesting that they had the first time you see him, a Celestial Dragon change is when they're declaring war against him.
Right.
Yeah. Isn't that funny?
So I'm thinking that when they might meet like good Celestial Dragons.
Yeah.
They might meet good Celestial Dragons, but then I just feel like in the final, when the war actually happens, I feel like Dragon will be really brutal. I feel like because I just feel like, because you have Shanks and Dragon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they both feel like they can help Luffy out completely. But I just feel like there's going to be more conflict than just like, okay, we're all going to be on this side.
Yeah.
And then the world government's on that side. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's just, I'm curious to see about Dragon a lot and his cause.
Yeah.
It was just really cool again seeing that all tied together. So we see him kind of show up, and he offers to lend all of his power to them if anybody else, any other Celestial Dragon or anybody wants to get in their way. And then it cuts to Shanks talking to the 5 elders, again requesting an audience with them that they're very willing to give him, and he's there to talk about a pirate. We don't know what pirate he's there to talk about, but a pirate. Any thoughts on that, Mehgan? Any theories? I don't know if Nolan, if more has been revealed.
I feel like it would be too on the nose for it to be Luffy.
I feel like that too.
So it might be someone else.
About the pirate that they're talking about? Blackbeard's always an option, because he's always talking about Blackbeard.
Yeah.
So,
I kind of thought maybe Blackbeard,
because Blackbeard in Reverie seems like he doesn't like really have that. They didn't really give him that scene. They didn't really give him like a presence or anything until, of course, he like commented on Luffy's like bounty. But like Kaido and Big Mom have a scene together. Shanks has this scene, so I think like it makes sense for if all the 4 emperors had a stake in the Reverie.
Gotcha. That would make a lot of sense.
But we never know. He could be talking about someone completely.
Bro, he could be talking about someone we don't even know about. But that's when we see Bonnie sneaking into the Celestial Dragon Gate. And we see Rosewar, who is Charlos's father, on Kuma, riding Kuma, former king of Sorbet Kingdom. It's the first time we find out this fool's a king.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And he's been made an example of by the Celestial Dragons. And then we talked about it a lot in the beginning, but then that the relationship between him and Bonnie, like what is their relationship? What does that mean? It's so crazy. But this panel of that Celestial Dragon riding Kuma was absolutely insane.
Probably one of the more brutal panels in One Piece.
Yeah.
Just swords in him, just sitting on top of him, just completely disheveled.
Defaced.
Sabo's flashback of Kuma and just him wearing a smile and being this like very cheerful, powerful, cheerful guy. Like, it's heartbreaking to see a character that I love Kuma so much.
Kuma's a great character, and by the end of it, he'll probably be even better. And I think like it's cool when you first get introduced to Kuma, or not when he shows up in Thriller Bark, and because you know that he has the title of Tyrant, but he has a Bible, So even from his initial like introduction, he's like a contradiction into everything.
Yeah.
Or he's like repenting, or like for his appearance like lends a lot of introspection into, not introspection, it lends a lot of like analysis onto like who he can be. And he's a king.
Yeah.
And they called him tyrant. I feel like he might have been, maybe he was a bad king, maybe he was a fine king, but then Dragon got a hold of him.
Well, we've also seen so many other kings be made to look like tyrants. Like Crocodile was trying to frame Vivi's dad, and the king of Dressrosa, Riku, I believe, was framed by Doflamingo. So it's like we've seen these like good kings be framed.
So maybe Kuma got framed for a good purpose, though. Like maybe he wanted to build his reputation as a pirate to get into the 7 warlords.
Yeah.
And then, obviously he's a revolutionary agent the whole time.
It's kind of like Boa.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's also like he could be infiltrating. He was infiltrating for the revolutionaries, definitely. Yeah. But then he also like sacrificed his like life. For Vegapunk and become a cyborg for sure.
Yeah.
But then the revolutionaries like scrambled to like get him. So maybe they didn't know he was going to do it. Maybe they did. Like, there's just so many sorts of things just for Kuma alone.
And to think that all this is going to be answered in the final saga, I can't.
Probably the next 3 years.
Yeah, insane. We cut to the revolutionaries who are kind of underground. Sabo's kind of, that's when he's kind of looking back on Kuma, and he's getting very upset, very angry. The reverie begins, even though we don't get to see much of what they're talking about. And then the Dark King Emu is in that room with the pictures we were all talking about. Shirahoshi, Luffy, Blackbeard, and walking away with a picture of Vivi and him walking into that room with that throne, sitting atop that throne, and the 5 elders bowing down to him. The 5 rulers, the most powerful political figures, whatever.
Highest
authorities in the world, bowing down to him, worshiping him, asking him if he has decided upon another light to erase from history. Again, with the void in history, again, I think the words like, not have you decided on another light to another light to extinguish? Have you decided on another person to take out, a sacrifice? Like, so many ways to say it, but to erase from history is such a specific way to say it, especially with the void in history being such a big thing where a long period of history has been erased. Is this who is this, a god? Is this a very powerful devil fruit user? Is this someone who was?
It has to be. There's no like rational explanation. It has to be something like divine, it
I
just
could
has
see it
to
being divine.
Yeah, it has to be something like out of this world. Even, I mean, we know.
Well, we
people
know
have
that
gone
there's
to
people
space.
kicking it in space. Yeah, exactly.
So it might be like an alien. Like, I don't know, but yeah,
it's like an alien person.
And was it just me, or like the throne and like that whole thing looked like, I don't know. Maybe this is stupid. It looked like traditional like Japanese like architecture. Like,
yeah, but if you notice like the throne, it looks like the Grand Line.
Yeah.
Like all those dots that you see at the top, and then like when you get to the cross thing on like the back directly, it's like has a bunch of like dots that go down. So it's clearly like meant to look like the Grand Line itself.
And I thought
they are centered. So technically the throne is literally centered at the center of the world itself.
And I thought this, right? Because there's 5 elders, right?
Yeah, there are 5 elders.
And the 5 elders would represent like the sign of the world government, right?
Sure.
Is that like 5 dots, right? But it also kind of, I mean, this is not deep or anything, but it kind of more of a plus sign, but could be like kind of like a cross, maybe, like who knows. But for whatever reason, I don't know where or why. I don't know if I miscounted the first time or what, but I thought that there was 4 surrounding it, and the one, or there maybe I got the number of elders wrong. I thought there was 4 elders, and then like the one person in the middle.
I see.
But again, if the dots represent the 4 elders, I mean, I think it's down to, you're talking about the throne being looking similar to the Grand Line. I think even in their symbol for the world government, like whether it's a religious symbol or
it's meant to look like the 4 C's and then the Grand Line, because it's like you have the 4 C's and then the middle one would probably be like the Grand Line because it goes around. So yeah, I'm looking at your shirt right now, just trying to analyze them. Right.
Yeah, dude. I mean, again, like, I don't know. I think that there might be some more significance to that symbol too. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I was saying earlier, is that like, of course, we can get the idea that the conflict is like the celestial dragons versus, people of the D,
right,
or whatever. But like the conflict itself might not even like be what we think it is. It's just we just don't know. Like it could really. It's obvious that these are the enemies, but I just feel like there's going to be some even more details later that change how we think about the series again, even when we're in the final stages. You know, so it's just like, bro, when are they going to get this done? Like, this,
and 3 years doesn't seem like
when
enough
are we
time
gonna know
at all.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be more than that, but sooner than later. Definitely wants to make that point known.
Yeah,
like, it's ending sooner than later.
I mean, that's where this chunk of 6 chapters ends. And again, there was a lot of stuff going on. I absolutely loved everything that these chapters told us, or we were let in on about this world more. And again, the big reveal of this like mysterious figure, like I can only imagine, and just makes me want to theorize like crazy even more. What stood out the most to you, or now, you know, that we're at the end, like as a whole, these chapters are Nolan, any other theories that won't really spoil anything, anything and everything else you want to talk about? Now's the time to do it.
I mean, it's just crazy that, you know, like Oda's just introducing like what could be the main antagonist of the whole series. And it is interesting to think about, like, you know, you think like One Piece. I mean, we haven't talked about it yet, but me and Josh actually read Wanted, like the 5 short stories that Oda put out.
Those are cool.
And those are really cool. And I think the term that Luffy used in Romance Dawn was like the one, like peace. Like peace.
Like a
peace, what did he say?
Peace main.
Peace main. So it's like, what if the One Piece is like everyone having to like work together in order to defeat this bigger threat? So like the world government would have to team up, pirates. And
I'm thinking like
everyone,
or not the world
humanity.
government, like the Marines.
The Marines that I meant. The Marines.
Maybe
like everyone would have to team up in order to defeat this like even bigger threat to humanity.
But you're right though, because maybe even some celestial dragons would switch too. So it literally would be like every group on the planet would be like fighting against this person. Yeah.
So it is just interesting, like, damn, like, I mean, it just opens up so many new doors and avenues like to what the big bad is actually.
Yeah, because we, you know, and that's why we wanted to go back and read that, especially after the Reverie and going into Wano. If in the way that it was Paladin, Berserker, Jedi in our community pointed out, or why he encouraged us to even read it, is because of Oda's statement talking about the next saga being the One Piece, or being, you know, finally being One Piece, or you know, just the way he worded it was like, these are ideas that he has had for a long time. These are things that might have clues, hints, might have been sprinkled throughout versions of this story before and other stories that he's told.
And I know that in Romance Dawn, he does mention, like, you know, everyone has different terms for devil fruits or hockey, but he does say black magic.
He says black magic, and they talk about this bird in one of the first versions of One Piece. He talks about this bird that has magical blood, like their blood is magical.
Yes, and the black magic was crazy because he goes like, oh, I mean, it might just be like a throwaway, like, yeah, my devil fruit's just different than his, like, oh yeah, I don't have black magic per se, I have something similar, or maybe not just that. But it was interesting that like black magic, and now we're seeing this thing,
it's like dark
emu
king,
dark
like
king,
shadow king,
black magic. I mean, it's just
Blackbeard,
dark fruit, which is said to be the most evil devil fruit. They said specifically that it's evil.
Yeah.
And they said it was the strongest Logia, I think. But
and like maybe during that time, like he like sucked someone's blood to get Blackbeard, to get their devil fruit abilities.
Maybe.
Oh, he's a vampire.
Vampiric.
He's vampiric.
He's vampiric, yeah.
Okay, I felt dumb. He's vampiric.
I didn't mean to say that. I just said it.
No. Mehgan's like, he's vampiric.
Okay, calm down.
I do think that there is some significance, because if this is a rough draft or version similar to the Berserk prototype chapter, maybe there were some things that Oda's like, okay, well, I think I'm giving this away too much here, or I'm going to take this idea and rework it, reframe it, and be more subtle about this or that, or not reveal this thing till later. There's a lot of interesting things that you can glean from this version 1 or whatever of Romance Dawn, or I don't know if it's the first version or second version. There's a couple versions.
I think there's 2 versions. One was like too long for
Right, to be a first chapter.
To be a first chapter or something. Yeah. So this was like a second or the first or second version, but it was very interesting to see that, and to see like I forget her name.
Well, Ryuma too from that Monsters chapter.
Yeah. It's like Anne is just like Nami, pretty much. Right. And we see Garp, like a version of Garp.
A version of Garp. It's a pirate, which is crazy.
Yeah,
a peace main or a peace.
Main.
Yeah.
Which was like really.
Which
cool.
I'm glad that he does away with that. A lot, because it's just you're putting yourself in a box. There's no point.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a pirate that I don't do this though. But it's just like you're just putting yourself in a box.
The idea too, though, that characters like Ryuma can come back and be canonized, like in the world of One Piece. Like there are other characters, and it was funny, and I don't know if this is like matters at all. But as a character, so it's 5 short stories, right? For people who don't know, they're awesome too. One between this guy and God is my absolute favorite.
We have Wanted, I think is the first one with the cowboy. Number 2 is God's Gift for the Future. Number 3 is Yako, and then Monsters, and then Romance Dawn. And Monsters is the one with Ryuma.
Yeah,
right. There's a line in Wanted, the first one, where this outlaw character is, and it's just they're all so charming, and they're all so really well written, especially that one with that character in God. But there's a character that guy who's walking around, the gunslinger guy who isn't really hurting anybody. Again, this probably has 0 significance, but he says something very specific, and it could be translation thing too. He says, "You're 100 years too early," or something like that.
They say that a couple times in the
yeah, and that might just be
for
a
sure
saying.
like an expression, but it's like a lot of the older characters in One Piece, they say that sometimes, And
again, it might just be an expression for sure. But
that'd be cool though.
It just got again the gears turning, the theory gears turning.
Yeah, especially the Ryoma one.
Yeah.
Monsters, because that one's clearly has ideas that he definitely didn't want to abandon. And I think Oda probably was probably one of his favorites, probably. But
there's the dragons in that, and the other character being looking a lot like Mihawk for sure.
Yeah, and then like literally the panel of Zoro's, not Zoro, where I forget it, Ryuma slicing the dragon in half, like in Punk Hazard, it's like really similar.
The same, almost
borderline
identical.
the same. Yeah.
So it's just good to have all this like context, I think, and to have read all these stories going forward, because
even more so going forward too.
Yeah, it was so fun. I mean, I'd love to see I love to hear. I mean, we get to see it in like the SBS of like Oda's thoughts on things and explanations, but I just like to hear him say, towards the end of God's Gift of the Future, he goes like, "Drawing powerful scenes has now become one of the themes in my manga," and I'm like, you have no fucking idea what your future has to hold, Oda. In that moment in time, you have no idea how many powerful scenes you're going to write in the future. Like, bro, like what a crazy thing.
What a maniac,
he's here now. Like he was in that moment then. Like even his art, his storytelling, like everything has improved tenfold. And just for him to like go back in the past and just be like, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna have statues in your hometown of every character that you've written, and it's like gonna be worldwide. Like crazy.
And again, I'm paraphrasing, but what he said in that same note, talking about the final saga, when he says, "I've always dreamed of like having like one of the most anticipated conclusions to a series," it's like, bro, like you did it. I mean, it's
you
like
already did it.
Check
you did
it off
like
your
10
list,
years ago.
dude. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this was absolutely crazy, and we're kind of theorizing, and we're kind of talking about all the possibilities, everything that could be, because there's just so much here, and was so much revealed in these 6 chapters of the Reverie, and there's still Wano to go. I'm so incredibly excited. I said we were going to possibly talk about Stampede. We are, running a little bit on the longer side, which is awesome, which is great. So I'm going to just go ahead and say that maybe if you want to hear about Stampede, maybe you'll hear me and Mehgan talk about it in a Patreon episode. Does that sound okay? Or do you want to get into it now? And I'm going to be real transparent with everybody here and the audience too.
Oh, what?
My fingers are tired, dude. Three cameras, dude. I'm walking, dude. My fingers have been walking on these keys. And it's
you
just
need a damn break.
No, it's because I'm trying to be really invested in the conversation.
It's okay.
And I'm like looking down, like walking across. You know what I mean?
Transparency is key.
Honesty.
Right.
Honesty. But yeah, stay tuned for an Patreon.
Yeah, I know. I was kind of
talking about it.
well because if we really get into it right now,
Yeah,
it's
there's a
gonna be
decent amount.
I mean, we just spent almost 2 hours talking about 6 chapters. If we talk about a whole movie,
it's gonna be another hour.
Yeah, because I don't want to just breeze through it because my fingies. You know what I mean? So yeah, stay tuned for a Patreon episode where me and Megan, and if Nolan has time, no pressure. We're gonna talk about.
This is the last time you're seeing me.
Oh, thank
Don't
you, Nolan,
say
for
that.
coming back again. It was
Thank you,
really a
Nolan.
pleasure.
Thank you, Nolan. Thank you so much, dude. I love
sure it
talking to you
was.
about One Piece on camera, off camera. Just talking to you about every arc, because even though we haven't had you on the podcast, we get to see and hang out with you, and we're just like every time we connect, it's just like filling you in on everything that we've read, and it's so awesome to
It's
get to
great.
share that with you, man.
Mhm.
So thank you for coming back and telling the
of
people what they needed to
course.
hear.
I
dude.
love it here.
Well, you said you're never coming back, dude. That's
Yeah, I'm not. I said I loved it here.
Got it.
Well, thank you for watching and thank you for listening. Another installment of our Done Piece series, the Reverie.
One month, let's
Reverie.
go.
Levelly.
The Levelly.
It's Levelly.
It's a Levelly, isn't it?
It's the Levelly, isn't it? Isn't it? You're better at it than me. We've even got. Okay, guys, relax.
You said in it?
No, you said it's going to be all okay.
Oh no, that was in a live
gonna
stream.
be
I
okay.
misquoted one of Kendrick's songs.
Bro, that
Okay,
was
sorry.
wild.
It was,
you
about,
said
he said it's going to be okay.
it was about the sentiment of what Kendrick was saying, and it wasn't about the actual
Lyric?
It's going
It's
to
gonna be okay. Okay.
Anyway, one a month, yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
One a
is gonna be
month.
so fucking lit. So you're gonna want to
Stay tuned.
stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
We got cosplays planned. Hopefully, every single episode. we got live readings, at least for the final. Thank you. Keep going. Live readings, especially for the final act planned. It's gonna be an event.
It's going to be unstoppable.
We're gonna be.
Be careful.
Be careful. Tread lightly.
Tread lightly. But thank you for tuning in to another Done Piece episode. Like I said, Reverie done. The only thing we have to do before we go is to shout out and to thank our wonderful, beautiful, amazing Patreon and YouTube members.
Let's go.
Thank you guys
Smell
all
nice.
from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you so much for all of your support. I gotta slow it down. I gotta bring it down. I gotta really like be present, be here with our Patreon and our YouTube members because
stay humble.
for real. Because a lot of other people want to just let support go to their head, but they wouldn't be jack shit, just like we wouldn't be jack shit without our Patreon and our YouTube members. I'm sorry, we wouldn't be jack shit.
Don't be sorry. It's the truth.
Without you guys and your support. We wouldn't be able to do as much as we do. We wouldn't be able to do it at the level that we do it at. We wouldn't be able to invest in the things we invest in to do it. We wouldn't be able to have the time to do everything that we do.
You guys saved us.
You saved us. You changed our lives. You make our days. You guys are our rocks, and I love you. I love you. I love you. And that, like, you could take that as like me speaking to it's gonna be okay. You could take that as me telling our Patreon and YouTube members as a whole, as a group, that I love them, or you specifically right now, whether you're driving in your car, whether you're sitting chilling in your room watching this on your phone or on your TV, taking a shit, whatever you're doing, you could just take this as I love you.
Yeah,
I love you, and we all
on the
love
final
you.
push.
on the final push.
On the final strain.
But thank you for real from the bottom of all of our hearts.
Thank you.
And if you'd like to become a Patreon member and get one of those special thank yous and a special I love you, then you can become a Patreon member. Go to patreon.com/volume1pod. You get early access to all of our videos, and you get access to our exclusive bonus Patreon podcast, Volume 1 Extra. We talk about anime, manga, anything outside of it, anything we're watching, consuming, listening to. We talk about on that, and you get all of that at our lowest tier in both places. Patreon.com/volume1pod to become a Patreon member, or to become a YouTube member. All you got to do is click join somewhere next to the subscribe button on this video. And if you become a YouTube member, you get emotes that you can use in the comments and in the live streams and all that stuff. So choose wisely, I guess. But if you're at a point in your life where you just don't have the funds to support, or you just really flat out don't want to, there are plenty of other ways you can show your support for absolutely free that mean just as much to us that Mehgan will tell you all about right now.
Yes, if you don't have any berries to spare, don't even trip, don't even worry. All you got to do is comment on any one of our videos, like any one of our videos, or even get a little crazy. Why don't you just subscribe? I don't know. What?
It's a little crazy.
It's a little too crazy.
And hopefully you already are
subscribed.
Hopefully you are into the episode.
Yeah.
I'd like to believe that.
Hopefully you already hit it. But yeah, you can do that, and you will help us out so much. It is a free way to show your support, and it helps us spread our videos far and wide across the seas of the world.
The world needs it.
The world needs it, and it's free. It's absolutely free. You can comment, a period, an emoji, or just any of your thoughts on the Reverie at all, or One Piece in general. And it really does help us out so much. And if you don't have any funds, no trip, just you can do that for free. Become gang affiliated with the Algorithm Gang today.
Yeah, be careful.
Tread lightly.
Yeah, if you're listening on audio platforms that allow you to leave a review, leave a review, share it with people. All that good stuff. Again, even if you're here watching to the very end, view duration, all that stuff helps so much. So thank you again from the bottom of our hearts for any and all support, no matter how you choose to show it. The only thing we got to do now is get out of here on our outro. It's always the same and never changes. Which today maybe
Nolan.
Maybe Nolan. Yeah, maybe Nolan. Yeah.
Think about what we talked about today.
Nolan, like if you any outro, what comes to your mind right now?
So right now, I'm thinking that you guys should all subscribe to the channel and the Patreon.
Okay, I like that.
And I really hope that you guys I really hope you guys stay gang affiliated.
I love that.
I love that.
And doop 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 doop.
Until next time.
What if we say we'll see you in Wano?
See, wouldn't Wano be ya?
Well,
see ya.
Wouldn't Wano be ya?
Oh.
That's hard.
All right.
That's hard.
All right. I mean, I would. It's not that I wouldn't want to be you, though. Is what I'm.
No, I don't want to be you.
All right. Fair point. All right. Let's do it. See you wouldn't want to be you. All right. Let's do it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And until next time, see you
wouldn't want to be you.
Wouldn't want to be you.
Maybe there's someone out there listening and watching who I do want to be.
That makes sense.
I don't want to.
Maybe there's one person. Not one.